Bombshell that Stormy Daniels' lawyer dropped last night. Those records suggesting a new money trail from a Russian-linked company to the secret plot to pay off Stormy Daniels. So what's been going on since all this happened? Well, reporters have been verifying different parts of the story. Companies who paid Cohen now confirming these allegations while also trying to do their individual damage control. But here is what's most telling tonight. We are basically one night out from something that could be an inflection point, and I don't use that term lightly. Here's what you need to know right now. Donald Trump and Michael Cohen, they're not really punching back on this story. They're not releasing their own financial materials to rebut these allegations. No. Tonight, the first personal lawyer to a president to ever announce he would plead the Fifth to invoke his right to silence in court is now basically taking that same strategy to the streets, where he has virtually no comment.
Any comment about Mike Avenatti? Any response? Any response to Avenatti?
His document is inaccurate.
But the Cohen-Trump camp is not offering much proof for that little rebuttal there of, quote, inaccuracy. And tonight's news is raising profound questions about, yes, potential evidence of Russian collusion. The Russian billionaire behind the firm that secretly funded Cohen now publicly claims he was not involved in the payments to Cohen. But is that what he told Bob Mueller? Because, of course, Mueller's investigators questioned him earlier this year. We don't know the answer to that yet. Cohen also facing heat for over $4 million of payments from these other companies. As I mentioned, they're explaining them, not denying them. But what were they paying Michael Cohen for? He didn't represent them in court. He doesn't say he registered as a lobbyist for them. Well, today, one of the companies trying to get ahead of the scandal says it was Cohen who reached out to them promising access.
You've got millions of dollars that are being deposited into this account. Michael Cohen appears to be selling access to the President of the United States.
You know the face you just saw? That is Michael Cohen's opponent, or at this point maybe nemesis, Michael Avenatti. He's behind these leaks. He's been pushing the case. And as we always emphasize, because we want to give you the context, he has his own perspective in this. But you'll note that what that company said is the same thing Michael Avenatti said. That's two different sources saying Cohen was trying to sell access, and that would be a separate crime. So the company that said that, Novartis, basically got pulled into potentially a scheme, and it would have a legal and fiduciary duty to tell the feds about it if, as I just mentioned, they're now saying tonight that this was something Cohen offered them for access to Donald Trump, to the government. I can tell you, and I think you might agree, this is the kind of thing Bob Mueller would want to know. Well, we have more for you tonight. News that had not leaked when this all first came out last night. That company's staff has already told Bob Mueller about all of this over half a year ago, and that's according to Novartis officials speaking out today, emphasizing their cooperation. Up until last night, there were no public financial documents linking Trump world this directly to the Putin oligarchs. Tonight, there are. Up until last night, there were no entities who worked with Trump's lawyer publicly disclosing their cooperation with Bob Mueller. Tonight, there are. Up until last night, there was no sign that Cohen's incriminating records would leak like this. And tonight, I can report something else for you. The U.S. Treasury Department now investigating if someone leaked those sensitive banking records, which on the one hand is important because those records are supposed to be private, but also further suggests those records are real records, accurate. Meanwhile, as all of this goes on, everything I just ran through, Donald Trump's legal team continues its slow-motion convulsions over the fallout from Rudy Giuliani's contradictory defenses of the money paid to Stormy Daniels. And while few want to relive those odd Giuliani interviews, they do look different in light of these disclosures tonight. If Rudy Giuliani knew exactly how bad this money trail was, maybe that's why he was in such a rush to change Donald Trump's story about it, even clumsily, even ad hoc, even in a rush, and even if it meant admitting that Michael Cohen and Donald Trump had, yes, been lying about this same money trail all along. I'm joined now by Maya Wiley, a former counsel of New York City's mayor and a legal analyst for us here on The Beat, as well as Jack Quinn, a former White House counsel to Bill Clinton. Maya Wiley, is there a link here between what looks so bad for Cohen, what I just went through is being piecemeal verified, and why Rudy Giuliani seemed to be in that clumsy rush?
You mean why Giuliani talked about funneling money? I mean, what we're certainly seeing in these records are a suggestion that there was certainly funneling of money. I think the question that we do not have the answer to yet, Mueller might have much more of an answer to it, is whether there was a relationship between, say, the $500,000 that Columbus Nova, right, the company that the Russian oligarch was connected to, actually, what happened with that money, and whether or not that was related to any payments that benefited Trump in protecting his election campaign.
So you're saying the money in is suspicious and the money out could form a crime?
It's unclear.
Jack Quinn, funneling money, funny money, what's your verdict?
Well, you left out one thing we knew, and that was that Michael Cohen brought a very modest clientele to this business before he was able to line up, you know, a major drug company, a foreign aerospace company that was interested in having him rework their accounting systems and so on. Up until now, we knew that he was working on funneling money to Stormy Daniels. We knew that he represented a Republican donor who had impregnated a Playboy playmate, and Sean Hannity. Now, you know, I've been in this town a very long time, and doing this kind of work for most people is based on experience, expertise, yes, relationships, but relationships that are based on a long history of trust, based on the kind of experience and trust I talked about. And Michael Cohen brought none of this to the table, so it's concerning, it raises the red flags, but none more than the Victor Vekselberg axis here. The fact that they were paying this kind of money, and I understand it was a subsidiary of a related company, but still it ties together the Michael Cohen legal story with the Russia investigation.
Do you think